Elena learned how to disappear long before she understood why she was doing it. As a child, she noticed that quiet people caused fewer problems. Quiet people were praised for being easy, so she became easy. She learned to listen more than she spoke, to agree even when she didn't, to smile even when something inside her felt wrong. Over time, this habit followed her into adulthood, shaping the way she walked through the world, careful, unnoticed, and always a step behind her own potential. In school, Elena had ideas that stayed trapped in her mind. She knew the answers, felt the confidence rise for a moment, then swallowed it back down as doubt whispered, "What if you're wrong?" In friendships, she was the listener, the supporter, the one who carried everyone else's emotions while hiding her own. In her career, she worked harder than most, stayed later than everyone, and hoped that effort alone would make her visible. But effort without voice kept her invisible. Silence became her routine. She told herself that strength meant endurance, that real power was patience. But deep down, she felt exhausted. Not because life was hard, but because she was constantly denying herself. Each day felt like wearing clothes that didn't fit, too tight around her dreams, too loose around her identity. She began to feel disconnected from the person she once imagined she would become. There were nights when Elena lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying conversations she never fully had. She imagined speaking up, imagined choosing herself, imagined a version of her life where she wasn't always shrinking. Those thoughts scared her as much as they inspired her. Change meant risk, and risk meant the possibility of losing people, opportunities, and the comfort of familiarity. The shift didn't happen overnight. There was no dramatic rescue, no sudden miracle. It began with awareness. Elena started to notice how often she said, "It's fine," when it wasn't. How often she silenced her instincts to keep the peace. How often she prioritized being liked over being respected. That awareness hurt, but it also opened her eyes. You can't change what you refuse to see. One day, after being overlooked once again for work she had clearly earned, something inside her finally broke. Not into pieces, but open. She realized that waiting for recognition was another form of silence. That moment forced her to ask herself a hard question. If I don't speak for me, who will? The answer was uncomfortable but clear. No one. Elena started small. She spoke even when her voice trembled. She shared ideas without over-explaining them. She stopped softening her words to make others comfortable. Each step felt unnatural at first, like learning to walk again. Some people responded with surprise, others with resistance. Not everyone liked this change, and that hurt. But for the first time, the pain of being misunderstood was less than the pain of being unseen. As she continued, her confidence stopped depending on external approval. She learned that strength isn't the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite it. She learned that boundaries are not walls, they are doors that only open to those who respect them. Slowly, her life began to reflect her inner shift. Opportunities aligned, conversations changed, her presence became undeniable. Elena also learned compassion for her past self. She stopped judging the silence she once lived in. That silence protected her when she didn't know how to protect herself. But growth meant recognizing when protection turns into limitation. She thanked that version of herself, and then moved forward. Her rise wasn't loud, but it was powerful. It wasn't about proving anyone wrong, but about proving herself right. From silence to strength, Elena didn't transform into someone new. She reclaimed the voice that had always been there, waiting for permission she finally gave herself. And in doing so, she discovered a truth that changed everything. When you choose your voice, your life begins to rise with it.